VMware vSAN Specialist V25V0-22.23 exam dumps are the best material for you to study all the related topics. Share some VMware certification 5V0-22.23 exam dumps questions here. 1. An administrator has been tasked with upgrading existing vSAN hosts with multiple SSD cache devices per host to NVMe devices, hot plug. Which fact should guide the administrator's action? A. The disk group does not need to be removed before adding new cache. B. The cache disk drives must have a larger capacity. C. The host must be removed from vSAN cluster before changing cache devices. D. The disk group must be deleted on each physical host in the cluster to use the NVMe device. 2. The DevOps team of an organization wants to deploy their new cloud-native application with persistent storage on a dedicated vSAN cluster. The storage administrator is tasked to configure the vSAN cluster and leverage the vSAN Direct feature. Which two requirements must the administrator meet to complete this task? Choose 2. A. Unclaimed disks in the hosts for vSAN Direct. B. A dedicated network for vSAN Direct. C. A valid vSAN license for the vSAN cluster. D. An integration with vSAN file services. E. vSphere HA enabled on the vSAN cluster. 3. A vSAN administrator has a cluster of 6 vSAN nodes. The vSAN data store was 55% utilized, and due to a power outage, one node was lost. The vSAN administrator needs to resolve the storage policy compliance for the virtual machines on RAID 5. Which action, if any, needs to be taken to meet this goal? A. No action is needed since vSAN automatically rebuilds the objects. B. The one failed node must be restored. C. Trigger vSAN object repair from ESXCLI. D. Change the RAID 5 FTT from 2 to 1. 4. Skyline Health vSAN HCLDB up-to-date health check is alerting in red in a newly deployed vCenter server. Which two options are the possible solutions for this problem? Choose 2. A. Obtain the HCLDB offline bundle from VMware.com, and manually update it. B. Upgrade to the latest version of vCenter. C. Upgrade the HCLDB from the hardware vendor website. D. Obtain the HCLDB from the hardware vendor, and manually update it. E. Update the HCLDB online from VMware.com. 5. A vSAN administrator has deployed a new all-flash vSAN cluster and would like to perform a health test on it to verify that the network performance is meeting the network throughput requirements. Which tool should be used for this purpose? A. vSAN cluster performance. B. vSAN proactive test. C. vSAN Skyline. D. LALNsite. 6. A vSAN administrator of a network-isolated vSAN environment wants to upgrade the environment from the vSAN 7.0 to the vSAN 7.0 U1 using VLCM. Which option, if any, should be used as a depot in this case? A. Configure the vSphere Lifecycle Manager to download the updates from an online depot. B. It is not possible to use the vSphere Lifecycle Manager on a network-isolated environment. C. Configure the vSphere Lifecycle Manager to download updates from a local UMDS shared repository. D. configure the vSphere Lifecycle Manager to download the updates from the VMware Depot using HTTPS. 7. A vSAN administrator was presented with 30 additional vSAN-ready nodes to add to an existing vSAN cluster. There is only one administrator to complete this task. What is the fastest approach? A. Use a host profile that was extracted from an existing host. B. Clone the SSH boot partition to all new hosts, since the hardware is identical. C. Run vimcmd to capture, and apply the configuration from an existing host. D. Launch QuickStart to add hosts to a vSAN cluster. 8. A vSAN administrator is tasked with changing the stripe width for a specific storage policy on a vSAN 7.0 GA cluster in order to improve performance, but the component distribution desired is across hosts, not just across a disk group. Which action, if any, should the administrator take to complete this task? A. No action is needed. B. Upgrade vSAN to 7.0 Update 1. C. Enable vSAN performance services in order to increase the number of stripes available across hosts. D. Change the default policy to force provisioning to spread components across hosts. 9. Which two storage policy types are used with the vSAN data persistence platform? Choose 2. A. TKG extensions. B. Harbor registry. C. Application namespaces. D. Shared nothing architecture. E. vSAN direct configuration. 10. A vSAN administrator wants to upgrade a 4-node vSAN cluster from version 7.0 to the latest version available. The vSAN administrator would like to complete the upgrade as a single task, including firmware and drivers for its hardware. Which action must the administrator take in order to be able to perform the upgrade? A. Configure vSphere Update Manager (VUM). B. Migrate the workloads to allow the firmware to be upgraded. C. Install the new VMware LCM tool. D. Use VLCM images within Lifecycle Manager in vCenter.